Welcome back this morning. We continue to hear more and more about our circadian rhythm and the body clock, but do we truly understand their importance? We've got Dr. Joseph Ojal here with the Clayton Sleep Institute. He's going to join us with perhaps a plan to manage your daily life in an effort to harmonize your health with that internal body clock. Good morning to you, Doctor. Sleep always gets us talking here, especially on Fox 2 News in the morning. It sounds simple a little bit here when we talk about harmonizing our health, fixing that body clock, but is it really?
The first step is awareness.
Okay.
And for all of us to understand that we focus on the fact of when we go to bed and when we get up as far as our daily life. But there is an important internal time clock, a rhythm that is built into our bodies that we call our circadian rhythm, which is independent of the other parts of our sleep cycle. It can move, but it moves very slowly. And so this is the underlying sleep or underlying life cycle that goes on with 2 periods of wakefulness, 2 periods of sleepiness. And so if we can get that lined up with our day-to-day life, then we have a powerful tool.
It's fascinating too when I read some of the research, some of the materials that you give us, just how much this really can affect our health, especially when these things are thrown off. And why it's so important for us to fix that. And you really have some really good tools on what we can do to to regulate our daily sleep cycle.
Well, the first thing is stability. And one of the things about the internal time clock that's moving is it isn't just our wakefulness and sleepiness, it's other things like hormones, how our organs relate to medications and other things, for instance, things like diabetes and other issues. From the standpoint of how we do it in our daily lives, one of the important things is stability. If you think about jet lag, which is kind of the easiest thing to understand throwing off your circadian rhythm, what happens there is that we move time zones very rapidly, and our body's time clock can't keep up with that. So we were discussing, for instance, work schedules, and you all have a very unique work schedule, and the key there is the stability of going to bed at the same time, getting up at the same time for a steady and long period of time, right? Weeks, months, in some cases years with your co-anchor. That causes a certain stability in the circadian rhythm. The other aspect of that, besides the stability, is when you get up in the morning to get bright light, to get activity, and sometimes even to incorporate your exercise into that. Those sorts of activities, it's called entrainment, that locks down your circadian rhythm for that periods of days and weeks as you're doing that schedule. That's the kind of things we need to do. When we travel, we can't move the circadian rhythm much more than 1 hour per day, an hour and a half per day. Then it's key to get up in the morning and get bright light, and and that'll help, and get exercise. That'll help secure your day's activities and make you awake at the right times. When you travel east, it's the one time when melatonin works. Melatonin, which is over the counter because it's a naturally occurring hormone, is the hormone that spikes up at bedtime. When you travel east, it doesn't know to spike up quite yet. So if you take melatonin 60 to 90 minutes before you want to go to bed, when you go east, it will help you. That's the one area that's been studied quite extensively.
So interesting. If you guys want to learn more, of course, you can go to our website. Of course, we'll link you to all of that information at fox2now.com or our Fox 2 app. Dr. Ojal, thank you so much. This is always such an interesting topic. We could talk about it all day. We're going to have to stop for now and send it back to John, who is very good with his sleep, always keeping his daily schedule on track. Maybe that's why you're successful with it.
I don't know. I wake up automatically. I talked to a pharmacist once and said, what do I take? And they say melatonin, exactly what you mentioned.